This is Gene Adam, former lead singer of Iced Earth. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast and Stone, and don't forget, join our community on social media. Metal lives.
Hey guys, this is Luke Appleton, bassist of Iced Earth, and you are watching Podcast in Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Iced Earth community, welcome to Podcast in Stone, the only podcast 110% dedicated to iced motherfucking Earth. I don't usually do the intros, and if you're asking yourself why, it's because it's the Plagues of Babylon episode, and I couldn't wait to start talking about one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Chuck Hoskins. With me, as always, Jason Brett. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm very proud of my co-host. Like, right on. How does it feel to be part of the intro land, as I call it?
I couldn't wait to start talking about it.
Do you feel empowered?
a little bit.
That was
a little bit.
That was great. We should maybe like switch it around every couple of episodes or something, because
we'll keep people guessing.
That was good. I'm doing great. Plagues of Babylon. Overall thoughts quickly. I'll let you start off, as you just can't wait to talk about it. So.
I can't wait. Plagues of Babylon is my absolute favorite Stu Block album. It's a controversial selection because a lot of people love Dystopia, and I love Dystopia also. But to me, it was just a step better. To me, it's got Iced Earth is known for the concept albums, and they have great standalone songs. And to me, this is the absolute best of both worlds, because you got half of the album that's the concept, and then some awesome standalone songs. So to me, I love the half and half, and I think that the tone is good. It's dark. It's heavy. It's just Stu came even more into his own. And it's like, to me, felt like he was more comfortable. I love the album. What's your overall thoughts, Jason?
I had a similar vibe. I had a similar kind of, because obviously, I'm trying hard to put this into words. All right, obviously, Dystopia is my second favorite album by the band. Like, I love Dystopia. So following Dystopia was always going to be, a difficult task in my eyes, because I thought, fuck me, that Dystopia was amazing. So they dropped Plagues of Babylon as a single, and that didn't grab me straight away. And then the album dropped, and it still didn't. It took me a good few weeks to really kind of get it, if that makes sense. But I don't get wrong, I really like the album now. Like, it's really grown on me. It's kind of similar, like, no, I know it's maybe a spoiler, but it's, I felt the same way of Incorruptible. Like, it took its time to kind of grow.
Fair enough.
Plagues. It took its time to grow. I've just got a funny, I think Dark is especially the first half of this record. Dark is a very good way of summing this album up in that sense. And I like to think if when Burnt Offerings came out, if the band kept to that kind of dark sound, I could imagine this album coming after Offerings, if they kept to that really dark. And I would argue this is the heaviest they've been since Horror Show, because it's heavy, man. Like,
it's heavy. It's definitely heavy in a good way.
A lot of bottom end and a lot of just crunchy riffs and just.
But I like also that it's not just constantly heavy, because there's a lot of country western flavors thrown in there too.
Oh yeah.
So it really keeps you. It's all over the place, and I like that about this album.
It's. We've said this many times. The beauty of Iced Earth is that they always diversify, and I think this album,
right?
Crucible to Dystopia to Plagues, is that three album, right? Those three albums right there, they couldn't be more different. Do you know what I mean? That's the beauty of the band, and I think right. Even though I felt, topping Dystopia is going to be very hard, and I don't believe it did top. I still think Dystopia is the better album, but that's just me. But Dystopia has a very special place in my heart for many reasons. I still kind of knew that. Oh, I know I shouldn't expect a Dystopia 2 because I'm not going to get that because Iced Earth they don't rehash. Even though Dark Saga and Something Wicked, people argue are basically the same album in terms of their kind of flavor. But like yeah, I think this album really really shows diversity, and I think it really shows Troy Seeley in particular coming in and just throwing. You can tell he's loads of Seeley's influences are on this record for sure. His lead work really kind of lends to the sound of this album, definitely. Like
Yeah. And with his country and bluegrass background, it's definitely, I think, helped this album, just be different. And I like that about this album. But it still has those heavy iced earth crunches too. So I think it's a great album for all fans. And you talked about the difference from Dystopia to Plagues. I like that there's just as much of a difference from Plagues to Incorruptible. I love that we don't get that same album. And what are we going to get next time? Who knows? I love that about Iced Earth.
we might get that acoustic EP we've been after for so long.
Yes.
You just don't know. Just don't know.
And before we get into personnel, I just want to take a moment and say, since I'm doing some hosting I don't usually do, I want to say thank you to all our patrons for help supporting us and help making us grow. The more we can grow, the more stuff we can offer. And for all those that have taken the time and the money to help us out, I can't thank you enough. We got some really cool giveaways coming up still. And, if you don't, that's fine too. There's other ways you could help as far as, tell people about us, so you could still help. We love everybody. So don't feel bad if you can't, but if you can help us out, that's great too. So we appreciate it very much. I just wanted to say that because I know it's usually that you that handles that. So I just wanted to say a thank you to everybody that helps us because it's a dream come true. I love this podcast so much. And, all the help that we have to help it keep going with the tech and stuff is, I appreciate all you do as well, Jason.
Oh, thank you. I just want to say to everybody, Patreon is an option. If you can't, support in that way, then we understand, man. Your money is, you work hard for your money, and what you want to do with your money is your own personal thing. So for everybody that has donated and pledged, we really are, we couldn't kind of like say thank you enough for that. And for everybody else that just supports by watching, sharing, and commenting, that is still
right.
That still means a lot to us, too. Man.
You recently had a thing about what would you like to see after we're done with our album specials, and there were some really great ideas that I can't wait to talk to you at another time about. But there's some really great ideas, and we're going to definitely take some of those to heart and do the best we can to try to do some really cool shows after our albums.
I just want to say that, the date. I'm just gonna say I've never said our dates in these episodes, but it is June 5th, 2018, and we haven't really done much in the last month. We've had a bit of a month off. We've been quite busy with stuff. I've just got myself a girlfriend, so there's that. So that always changes things, Chuck's been busy, a bit crazy with work, isn't you, Chuck, recently? Like, a bit mad.
Very, very, very busy.
We've been quite busy, but, from this episode forward, I want to, we want to kind of, hopefully churn out a bit more stuff. Skype has been a bit pissy lately as well, so if you've been wondering where we've gone, we ain't gone anywhere. We're still here. Yeah. We still love you. More content.
And we have a special guest coming up as soon as we're ready and able to tell you about it.
That was a wonderful pun, Chuck. Man, did you spend a week writing that or something? That was good.
That hit me just like that.
Puns. We've got them.
Yes. So, personnel for Plagues of Babylon. Let's hear it.
Returning on his second venture with Iced Earth, Stucifer Block on lead vocals, John Schaefer on rhythm, lead, acoustic, backing vocals, and lead vocals on Highwaymen.
Yes.
Troy Seeley on his last and probably best performance on lead guitars. And Luke Appleton on his very first record with the band on bass guitar. Additional musicians like before with Crucible. I'm going to ignore the backing vocalists, so I do apologise, but there is a few on here that I really can't be bothered, because I'm a lazy fucker, to read out. So, we've got, I'm just going to say, additional musicians. We've got the incredible, and I do mean incredible, Raphael Ciani, I can't pronounce his name, on drums. So, just saying, like, he
did an amazing job
he
as a fill-in.
We've got to talk about him soon. Michael Paulson on lead and backing vocals on Highwayman. Russell Allen. Am I correct? He's from the what band?
Symphony
X. From? That's it. Yes, I had it. It was there,
Symphony.
but I couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
Lead and backing vocals on Highwaymen. Hansi Kirch from Blind Guardian on lead vocals on Among the Living and backing vocals in general. And the rest is backing vocals, and we've got a few marching drummers as well. So it's, cover art by Eliran Cantor. Great cover art.
Wonderful cover art.
It is wonderful. Mixing done by Kevin Paul and John Schaefer. Mastering by Sasha Baron. I think you pronounce his name. So there's no Jim Morris on this record.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
I genuinely thought he produced
everything.
All of them.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is an interesting thing.
A side note: this will probably be the last studio that's not John's home studio that he used, because he'll definitely be using Independence Hall from now on.
Yeah.
So this was the last non-Independence studio recording that we're going to get.
Yeah. Plagues of Babylon. It was released on January 6, 2014. And it was recorded between July 15th and August 8th of 2013. Recorded at Principal Studios in Germany. And it was produced by John Schaefer. Fun fact, quickly, before we get into general discussion. The album was dropped, like I said, 6th of January. That was literally like a week before they came to the UK. Like on their headline tour.
Okay.
So I had like 6 days to like listen to it as much as I could before the show. But thought that was a fun fact. So
Do you remember who was the drummer at your show? Because I kind of showed up late for I didn't do VIP for Plagues.
It was.
And I didn't even see the drummer, so I don't even know who it was.
It was John Dett, which I don't know. I don't know who he is, but I know it definitely wasn't Raphael Ciani. I do believe Raphael Ciani did play some shows. I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong
we'll
about
have to
that.
ask him about that.
Yeah,
I know. If you're interested about John Dett, he did some shows with Anthrax and Slayer. I think he's kind of been a fill-in guy here and there.
Okay. Cool.
So, but those are the two marquee names that he's played with, other than Iced Earth, of course. So, like I said, I got there late, and I don't remember. Like, I didn't really get to see who it was. So he might have been at my show. I don't remember. So if you knew who played in the Columbus, Ohio Plagues of Babylon show, put down there so I know. That'd be nice. So
let's get your thoughts to begin with. Right, they as a single they dropped the title track Plagues of Babylon. Talk me through your thoughts when they dropped the single, Chuck.
I don't know what I was doing that I missed that single, and I'm kind of bad about when stuff gets leaked not wanting to hear it. So I didn't actually hear it until I pre-ordered Plagues, and I remember being so happy it came to me like 6 or 7 days early.
Oh wow!
And I thought that I had some high tech. No one was supposed to hear this stuff. And I remember, so Plagues was still the first song I heard, and I still remember the day I sat there and read the artwork and listened to it, and I love the slow intro build up. We've 3 albums in a row we've had that with Dystopia, Plagues, and Incorruptible. I love that. I don't know whether that's going to be a trend that's going to keep going, but I love the build up on Plagues.
It lends itself to being a very easy song to open with live, doesn't it? Because they can hit play on the opening track. The opening track plays dum 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 that bit, and then they can just kick into it once that intro bit finishes. Like I think it lends it very that kind of. I think that's how they see it as well, because usually like we've seen before, Iced Earth tends to open with the new song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a string like with Incorruptible. It's been like Dystopia, da 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 da, Plagues, dum dum dum, and then Incorruptible with the whole chanty thing, as well. Like they're definitely following a pattern here with that kind of thing.
I like that.
You are correct.
I'm definitely.
The only thing I would say about Plagues of Babylon as a song, in terms of its opening, is that it goes on a bit too long for my liking. Usually I find myself skipping forward a little bit until it gets into the meat of the song, because it kind of just goes like a bit too long with the dun, 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 dun. It goes a bit a bit too long for me.
See, that to me, that's part of the appeal to it. I like the build up. It's not. It doesn't just blow its wad at the beginning. It builds up, and So I love that we have just two totally different views on stuff. That's great.
Like I said in the intro, I remember listening to the single and not liking it on like first, second, or even third listen. It took me a very long time to really kind of remotely like that song, and I was actually kind of worried in the direction where the album was going. Obviously I had nothing else to base it on, because that's all they released was that one song. So I was kind of worried that it was going to let me down. As probably with every album, there's always that worry there that I was just going to disappoint. Because being our favourite band, we want it to be just like killer, no filler every fucking time. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Sure.
So yeah, I was a bit worried. And then they unveiled the cover art, and I said, "This is gonna be fucking violent. This is gonna be dark. This should be fucking heavy." So that kind of brought my spirits up a little bit more.
Right.
And then the album released, and it took me a long time to process, many listens to really kind of, like I said, get into it. I think this is the longest album for me to get really behind since Glorious Burden.
Interesting.
And I think it's part due to the fact that a lot happened to me surrounding the Dystopia records, and how much that record just blew up and it became such a big part of my life that kind of subconsciously this album was never going to meet expectation to begin with. Do you know what I mean? Where with Dystopia it was like, it was Matt left, what we're going to do? Holy shit, Stu gets announced, boom. Dystopia, amazing. I see them live for the first time, VIP, all that kind of stuff. I see them like 4 times in a span of a year. Holy shit, And I think no matter what this album was going to be, I don't think it was going to captivate me as much as what Dystopia did, because I was such involved with that Dystopia record that as a fan, that I think it kind of clouded my my opinion a little bit. I think it just subconsciously kind of just like Plays would have never kind of would. I can't get my. Do you know what I mean? I can't really get my words out. But, it would never. Obviously, it's grown on me over time, but I think that initial kind of year with its release, it took me a long time to kind of like, okay, this is not Dystopia, this is different. Fucking give it a chance, kind of thing. So That's my initial thoughts on that.
See, to me, I liked it a lot right away. I thought it was a very good listen, and I instantly fell in love with the artwork, and I just remember I listened to it nonstop for such a long time. And we'll go into the track by track soon, but my first impression was, wow, like I was in love with the artwork, the whole everything. The pictures inside were really top notch. Like they took it definitely a step up even from the Dystopia pictures, I thought. And just a really cool everything. I love the storyline and just the tones, the sound. And we'll get into the vinyl. I didn't have the vinyl at the time, so I was happy with the CD. But now that I have a vinyl player, if you don't have a record player, go get a record player and listen to Plagues on vinyl because it sounds great.
Yeah, I will second, like, if you're an Iced Earth fan, which I'm sure if you're watching this show, I'm sure you are. But most importantly, if you're a Plagues of Babylon fan, if you're one of those, Iced Earth fans that really kind of defend this album, like Chuck is, because Chuck highly defends this album. If you love this record and don't have a vinyl player and you want to hear it at its best, I implore everybody to pick it up on vinyl because it sounds 1,000 times better than the CD version.
Yes,
And I'm not lying. John Schaefer even fucking says so in our interview that he feels the vinyl sounds fucking tons better.
And on the flip side, if you don't love Plagues of Babylon, listen to it on vinyl. Give it another shot on vinyl. So if you love it, listen to it on vinyl. If you don't like it, give it another chance or two on vinyl. So that's my vinyl thoughts. So
if you're a new fan of Iced Earth and haven't heard Plagues of Babylon, what are you doing watching this podcast? Go out and buy it and listen to it, damn it.
Okay. Are you ready for track by track, sir?
We are. Are we skipping Plagues? As we've pretty much spoke about that quite extensively already.
Yeah, I think Plagues of Babylon. I'll just touch on this for a second. I think it's an outstanding intro to the album, and I think it was a great starting song for the tour. I think, I love it. When it starts off and the band actually starts playing. I think it's a great first song for this album.
Right, now, as we're talking track by track and we're talking about the actual album as a whole now, rather than just a single, my thoughts is that there's a lot more better material on this record than this title track. Personally, I think it's one of the weaker songs on the album. That's just me. But what I want to implore, that what you will find from this material on this record is that it just sounds insanely good live. No matter, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Say there's some songs on here that I'm a bit, I find it a bit dull, a bit mediocre. But even the songs that I'm not overly struck on sound amazing live. That's where I think this album shines. It shines on the live circuit, seeing the band live playing this material. See, that's where listening to Plagues on the record is fine, but listening to that song, seeing them open with it is a different fucking story. It's huge. It's huge live.
Yeah. And I know it's the nature of the beast, but actually on the Incorruptible, No Plagues was played in my city. I know they brought Cthulhu out for a couple of them, but I got none at my show. So
that doesn't surprise me because you can imagine, Plagues was the album before, and they've probably done extensive touring for that record anyway, so they probably don't really want to play that much of that material for this tour. Possibly, I could be wrong.
Well, on Plagues, though, they played 2 Dystopias still. So I guess it depends on whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Democide.
Democide for me is the weakest song on the whole album.
Really?
I used to quite like it when I was slowly kind of getting into it, but the more I listen to the album over the years since its release, this song just bores me. I don't think there's anything particularly great about it. Like I said, there's To be honest with you, a lot of the time I've heard Plagues of Babylon and Democide so much that when I listen to this album, I tend to skip straight to the culling because I just don't want to listen to those two songs.
Well, at Podcast and Stone, we give you point counterpoint, and here's my counterpoint. I love Democide. I think it's got great guitars. I think the guitar work on this, the riffs on this song, really is what caught my attention and keeps it. I think Democide is a great song. I think I was going to say it's probably in my top 3 for the album.
Interesting.
So, Democide is just a song that I just it's probably one of the growing songs on the album. So, I love Democide.
I will say I will say a couple of positives about Democide, actually. You know, it kicks into the actual riff, like dum 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 dum. Luke's bass guitar is fucking bomb bomb. It's fucking huge.
See, to me that's just a textbook Iced Earth rocker. I think it's got that Schaefer gallop, and it's a song that I go, oh yeah. So the Culling. I'll give my thoughts first on this one. I think The Culling is a really catchy song. I think it's got a really great hooky chorus. I really, really like it. It flows very well. These songs, the first 6 songs to me just flow very nice. Much better than the Framing and Crucible. I think the songs just flow so great. So, what are your thoughts on The Culling?
I think it's great. It's probably the first good song that really grabbed me from this record. Once I've kind of got over the fact that it wasn't Dystopia, and I kind of grew on me like in the first year or so. This song I always the drums really kind of speak to me on this song in particular. I think the drum performance by Raphael is incredible. And he doesn't stick to a just formula. There's so much kind of creativity with his footwork and you know where he's dropping the snare in and stuff like that. It's just so creative, and he's such a technical just marvel with the drum work on that song. And it's just the drums are awesome. And like you said, it's a catchy one. Like, Plagues and Democide are quite the heavy ones, the heavy opening too, and then you've got the Culling, which has more of a kind of catchiness to it. I like this song a lot.
It brings us to Among the Living Dead.
Among the Living Dead is one of the best songs on the album. It's probably my second favourite song off the album. I love this song.
That's a really, really cool song.
It really brings to light Troy Seeley's kind of, like you said, like kind of bluegrass thing, because when it kicks into that lead at the beginning, like that really kind of wah, it's so. I listened to it the first time, I was like, this is weird. It sounds so unorthodox for Iced Earth, but it just adds that kind of creepiness which a song kind of needed for that kind of the Living Dead.
Right.
And I think it was really, Troy Seeley's kind of lead stuff really kind of adds to this song, and that's what I love about it, is that it's a bit different to the Iced Earth norm, and it kind of sounds a bit creepy and a bit weird. Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's great.
I think the highlight of Among the Living Dead for me is Stu's vocals are just top notch on this song.
He kills
just
it.
A really, really catchy song when it gets to that like pre-chorus part, and just a really, really good song.
He does that duet scream with Hansi Kirch.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the riff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost like the band's gone back to their debut album kind of thrash roots, because this album is very thrashy in its riffs. Very thrashy.
There's some very good Schaefer riffage in this one.
Yeah.
Like I said, to me this is a fantastic guitar album.
Yes.
So, Resistance.
I'm on two minds of this. I like it. It's weird because I listened to it today. I'm just like, this ain't too bad actually. This is all right. The problem is, this is the problem. I'm always getting Resistance and the end mixed up, because it seems they kind of are meant to bleed one into the
Go
other
together.
kind of thing. I always get the two mixed up. So I've listened to it today, but I still can't tell the two apart, which is really annoys me. I know it might be sacrilege, it might be blasphemous.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy, but yeah.
I think The Resistance is a really good song. It's not a super standout, but I think it goes good with the story. I think it's a really good song.
It's obviously, about, the last of humanity needs to like stand up and resist the disease which Set has unleashed upon the world. But yeah, if I can remember correctly, the chorus is really catchy, but I don't know if I'm thinking of the end chorus because I can't.
And I know what you're saying, because I don't ever. This is an album that I listen to as a whole. Yeah. I don't listen to. It's not like, where sometimes I might put in Storm Rider and I just want to hear Pure Evil and Stygian and that's it. Sometimes, if I put this on, I play the whole album. So I understand what you mean about them kind of bleeding together. Yeah. So that's not a bad thing. I think it's a great thing that shows the power of this album, that you can put it in and just, and take the whole thing. So the end, I'll tell this one because I got a little bit of a story about this. Yeah. When I grab an album and I listen to it for the first time, I have a little game I play with myself where I pick a favorite song after just one listen of the album. And then a year later, I look back and say, hey, is that still my favorite song on the album? The End was actually my favorite song on the first listen. I thought it was very Iron Maiden-y, and I liked I thought it was a great build-up. The song structure kind of reminded me of the Maiden, it's a longer song, isn't it?
It's a longer
I don't have
song.
The time in front.
No, it's not the longest on the album, but it's second. It's 7 minutes 13 seconds.
Okay, so I think it's I still like it. It's not my favorite anymore off the album, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But I really like it. I think it's a great end to the story.
Pun.
Question mark, or is it?
Yeah.
So that's my end story.
Because I get confused between the Resistance and the end. The one bit about the end that really sticks out is the opening. It's like that kind of that little like soft guitar, and you just got like Stu's vocal in that beginning bit that I kind of the one bit that sticks out is his vocals in that beginning bit is really good.
I think that the intro actually, when I first was listening to it, I would get the End and Cthulhu mixed up because their intros are similar.
Yeah, I kind of can get
super
that.
Similar,
yeah.
Just a little similar.
Yeah.
So, If I Could See You Now, I really think this is a really good one. I think it's got a country western kind of feel to it, just with the Troy's guitar and stuff on it.
Or would you consider it to be the ballad of the records?
A ballad? It's got to be. I would think so, because I don't really consider Spirit of Times a ballad.
No,
Do you?
No, not at all.
So it's a ballad of the record. I think it's great. I think it's unlike any other.
I think Stu kills it. He does it.
Absolutely. His vocals are amazing.
On the chorus, it's like, if I could see you now, I'll find my way. His vocals on that chorus. That chorus is huge. And I'm surprised they don't play it more often, because I can just imagine seeing that. When I first heard that song, I thought it was going to be a live staple. I thought it was going to be a big, anthemic live song that they play often. And they haven't really played it much, as far as I'm aware. They played it obviously on the tour, on the Plagues tour, but I don't think they played it that much. But it'd be nice to see that song more often pop up in the set, because it's a banger live. It's really singable, and it's just a good one.
And I think that the chorus is just as powerful as the verse is just as powerful as the chorus. I think the verse, there's no big part of the song. To me, I love the way the whole song flows.
See, I even like the subtle guitars, dum 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 dum
right.
dum 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 dum, yeah, something like that.
I think it's
did that wrong.
a great song.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great. Track 8, Cthulhu.
It is my absolute favorite song off the album, and I'm going to go as far as to say, to me, it's in the top 10 of Iced Earth songs altogether. I love the build-up. I love the scream that gets the song. To me, it's just a perfect tempoed rocker, and it's very catchy. And there's times I'll put it in my car and I'll listen to it 4 times in a row, and I'm still not tired of it. I mean, when Cthulhu when that song hits on my radio in my car, it's never played just once.
Yeah, this song is my favorite song off the album. The chorus is the most singable chorus from the album, in my opinion. It's so singable, it's fucking great. And they've just, even lyrically, they've captured the mystique and the kind of like mystery of the Cthulhu like deity so well. It's just like, this is just great. He comes from the sea. He kind of mystifies humanity with his salted air and all that. Saying stuff like this.
Yeah, it's very anthemic. It's the perfect Iced Earth song.
And Stu's vocals are the best on the album with this song, in my opinion.
And he nails it live too. He sings the shit out of it live.
So good live, man.
It's not studio magic. Stu kills it. So, and that brings to Peacemaker. To me, it's the sleeper of the album. Peacemaker is a cool song. It's so different sounding that the first time I heard it, I was like, that's different. It's almost like it could be on a Western soundtrack or something.
It definitely has an undeniable Western atmosphere.
Yeah, and I love it. I think once it takes off, it's great.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Troy plays amazing on it again. And if you're watching this and you haven't, and you got the just the regular Plagues CD that doesn't have the DVD, go get the DVD version, because it's got a very cool documentary on the making of this album, and there's some really cool behind the scenes stuff on how some of these songs came apart came together.
It's a really enjoyable watch as well. It's really good.
I've watched it several times, and it's not just like a little 10-minute deal. It's a good 35-40 minutes, I think. It's really cool. So if you've got just a regular single disc, go get the 2-disc version. We'll be showing you those in a couple minutes when we get to our collection. So Peacemaker is my definite sleeper of the album.
Yeah, Peacemaker is just great. It's just got an undeniable vibe that kind of matches the lyric. It matches the lyrical content so well. In its sounds, in its vibe, in its lyrics. It's just it's undeniably Western, and that's what I love about it. And I am a gamer, so I can imagine playing like a cowboy game with this song in the background, because it'd just be so fitting.
It's got a really cool solo at the end too. I love a solo on that.
By the way, track 10, Parasite. I've been looking forward to talking about this song for quite a while.
Okay.
Speaking of songs that capture what this song is about, holy fuck, this song is menacing. It's kind of disgusting. Like, that opening kind of just like riff, it sounds like what I imagine a Parasite to sound like. It just sounds just
right.
It sounds malevolent, it sounds evil, it sounds just out to hurt people. And that's what I love about this song. They've captured the idea of a parasite so well in an audio form.
Right.
And it's just it's my sleeper of the album.
Really? Okay.
It's my ringtone on my phone because it's just so
Nice.
awesome.
I remember when I first got the album, I seen the title Parasite, and that's a Kiss song from their second album. And I know that John's a huge Kiss fan, so I was like, did they cover a Kiss song? And then, of course, once it started, I remember that was my first take on Parasite. I thought for sure it was a Kiss cover. I like it. I think it's like you said, it's dark and just,
Yeah.
Stu's vocals and the guitars on it just definitely paint a picture.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it's a really cool song.
And again,
this
it does paint that picture of a living entity that feeds off your body, that uses you as a host to feed, and that is just
Right.
that is fucking disgusting. I've seen stuff online where people literally cut out these fucking tapeworms in their leg or something, or their inside them.
gross, Jason. People don't want to hear that.
It's messed up, man. But I mean, because I've seen those kind of hospital shows that talk about this kind of stuff, and yeah, this song really kind of it really grabs the idea of what a parasite is, and that's what I love about this band, and what I love about that song is that they're able to really hone in on the sound and what they're looking for in terms of the sound matching the lyrical content. They're just so good at it, and that's what I love about this song.
Nice. Now, the last two songs are cover songs. Spirit of the Times is a cover of Sons of Liberty.
Now,
is it there's a question.
Right, this is to everybody. We're 300 subscribers strong now, so there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you that have come back to our show. This is a question that I need to ask everyone. Right, I'm gonna post this question as well on our social media, so people can comment on there. Is it a cover if the guy behind the original
is still in the band,
plays it in a different band?
I think it is. I think it is.
Anyway, it's better than the original.
Spirit of the Times.
I said it.
It's really, really good.
Yes.
It's such a singy chorus. The chorus to me is the meat of this song. It's such a cool. It's the perfect song. It's not heavy, but it's such a cool tune that it was not on the Sons of Liberty full album. It was on the little 4 EP song that was only available through iTunes, which John has mentioned that it's going to be on a double vinyl. So I look forward to that coming out eventually. But I think Spirit of the Times is such a great selection for this album. I don't know whether they just felt that they were one song short or whether, why he thought that fit in there, but it really does fit this album.
I just think if you take the two side by side, I just think Stu Block just raises the bar for this song vocally, and that might just be the fact that John wanted to re-record a fresh version and have Stu sing it. Maybe that was as simple as that, and I think
it was a perfect choice.
Stu elevates his song from the original tenfold. It's so good.
Yeah, and for those of you that didn't realize this was the Sons of Liberty, go check out that side project with John singing. But I think it's Spirit of Time.
John's exceptional, actually.
And I'll admit that's an album I need to listen to more. I had a physical copy, and I don't know what happened to it, so that's one I need to get again. So I need to get that. I kind of waiting for the vinyl, but anyway, I love Spirit of the Times, and that brings us to Highwayman.
Holy fucking shit! This is amazing.
I'll start this one. I grew up. My mom was a big country fan, so she used to watch the country music television all the time, and this was one of those songs that I liked back then. It was different. It wasn't the normal twangy stuff. And then when I heard their version, I was like, I love his vision on this one, because I would have never said, go do that song. That's an Iced Earth song. And they nailed it.
They made
You
it
know,
a nice Dev song.
they,
That's the
yeah,
beauty. That's the beauty. Like the I know it jumps between, you know, Schaefer and Stu and the guy from Volbeat. Am I correct there?
yeah, the Volbeat's the last guy, and then the Symphony is the second guy.
Yeah, yeah. I always look forward to the Volbeat guy because I just think his vocals are incredible, and it just reminds me
Yeah,
of like Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley kind of vibe.
yeah.
And yeah, it's what a way to close a record. Like, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
got such a, like, you know, a moving. I don't know what you want to say. Like, it's
It's just a
somewhat.
fun song.
Yeah, it's like quite positive as well. You know, it's good. I really liked it. It's great.
Yeah,
It's a song that I find listening to with, you know, on its own as well because it's just so good.
yeah, yeah. I've played it to several people that are country fans, and they're like, "That's really cool," and I'm like, "That's Iced Earth, not Willie Nelson and the other guys, Chris Christopherson and Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings." I think those are the four guys that did it. So I think it's a great closer to the album. Again, his vision on picking that song out and making it an Iced Earth song was just spot on, John. Spot on. And it's got the funny exit song. It's not a song, but
Arr! Fuck your couch! Fuck your
fuck y'all.
couch, motherfuckers! I got a fun.
Now, I always thought that was Stu, but it's not.
Not.
You're about to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one because I asked him at the VIP for Plagues, and it's one of his friends, but I forget who he said it was. But I've got a funny story about that.
Hit us.
Plagues of Babylon tour. You know, I think they're like maybe 3 songs in, and it goes quiet, and I shout, "Fuck your couch!" Yeah, and Stu turns around and goes, "Did I just hear a fuck your couch out there?" And he goes, "Everybody with me, 1, 2, 3, fuck your." Everyone just was like, "Fuck your couch." It's so good. It's like,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I was like, yeah.
You
It's
know what's
great.
funny is I've actually seen
See,
a few. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, this outro, it like I like it because it kind of like shows the band's not just all serious; they can have a laugh
Yeah.
as well. It's like with Dystopia, it's just like I don't think these lads can take their L. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I like it because it shows that you know,
Just a fun.
Yeah, John Schaefer might be all stern and all like serious man, but like I think he could be a pretty fun guy to hang out and have a beer with. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I've seen a few people do YouTube reviews because I watched all that stuff, and a few were like, "I don't know why they did that. That was not a good song." I'm like, I think it's such a cool little. I laugh every time I hear it. I always wait for it.
Because he's like, hey you,
Hey.
arr.
So.
Oh, that's great.
So anyway, I think it's overall a great album. And for you newer fans, Plagues has a lot of merch, so we need to get into the merch of Plagues because it's going to take a little bit longer.
Well, I will start as obviously I'm wearing the Plagues of Babylon t-shirts because it's awesome. I love the artwork, so I had to get the t-shirt.
Nice.
I've also got a hoodie which I don't have with me at this precise moment. But I'm going to start with this little trinket that I've recently picked up for about $5. Focus.
Nice.
Focus camera. Oh, you can see
Not
what
yet.
it is, right?
Yeah, you can see what it is. That says
cool.
Ice Shirts on one side.
Yeah. According to 2 of our friends on our Facebook group, Jasmine Anderson and Richard Clark, they inform us that this was an EMP exclusive, only available in the UK when you pre-ordered Plagues of Babylon back before it came out. Which is interesting,
Nice.
which means I don't think there's many of these out there because, yeah, you know, Chuck pointed me in the direction of this, and I bidded on it, and I was the only bidder, and I paid very little money for it, and I'm very happy to have it. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm
Chuck.
so glad you got it. You're welcome. I know to ship to the US it was 16. I was like, nah.
It
I
was
said that's
like
for Jason.
it was like free postage for me.
Yeah, so that worked out great for you. Um, Audio. I will start with just the plain jewel case. I've got this recently signed by Troy and the other guys at the Incorruptible VIP. So it's one of my favorite covers. I think that looks fantastic. So that's just the standard jewel case.
I thought I'd show this first because it's the first version I got with the
Okay.
collector's box, which is the version I got signed, which is the deluxe version. It comes with the DVD, as we've mentioned during the show.
Yes.
DVD's awesome, and it's got some of the really harrowingly dark imagery.
Yeah.
Pretty wonderful artwork. I'm guessing by the same guy who done the cover art, done these individual pieces of art. So yeah, look, I love that of Cthulhu. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I love it so much. I do have the VIP club T-shirt that was given out on the Plagues, and it has this image of Cthulhu on the back. It looks amazing. So yeah, you get the gist, like, you know. With the
Now, what's in that?
With the band of zombies.
Yeah. What all's in that box set, Jason?
You get this limited edition album, if I can get it back in. Oh, sod the thing. Basically it's like a giant box. The only problem is they must have done it really cheap because this glue comes away. Is yours the same?
From what I read, every one of them's like that, and I've never tried to fix it.
It's really crap, isn't it? It's not.
You know, but it comes apart, but it on your shelf it holds together nicely.
Yeah.
Like the box is nice.
Mm.
So what do you got up there, buddy?
Basically, get the whiskey hip flask.
Nice.
I know you sent yours to a certain someone.
I sent mine to Mike McGill. Enjoy, buddy.
Big up the Mike McGill. You've got the postcards in here that I've never opened. They've always been sealed.
Oh, see, mine. I probably opened mine. So, really cool, almost like flashcards. I love the Parasite picture.
You got the cool little fridge magnet.
Yes.
And that's it for that. Where's your
wristbands? And wristbands and a.
Yeah, I've lost my wristband and I've lost my bandana.
Okay, so you gotta. I've never opened up either one of them, so. But
I used to wear the bandana, so I kind of lost it.
Cool little packaging. It's got one of those hard shell. This is a digibook that I like. This is very well put together, and two discs on there. So that's nice to get that. Cool box set.
Right, as you've shown already, I do have the standard jewel case version as well, which is
nice.
I do love jewel cases though. So.
Yeah, me too.
Although I paid, the jewel case in the UK isn't very available, so I paid a bit more than I wanted to for this, but I'm happy it's in my collection.
I think I had to get mine from like Brazil or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the next one I'll show, this is actually a decent audio. I have several videos from this era, but they're all shit. And I have one called Plagues Over Brazil that isn't very good, but this is actually decent audio. So this is one of my favorite audio bootlegs. So This one's called Live at First Avenue. I love hearing Red Baron Blue Max is the highlight for me on that.
Next up, I'm going to show, which probably is my favorite version of players, which is the Scarecrow Records Brazil only, available in Brazil. Is it Brazil? It was Brazil, wasn't it? Scarecrow
Yes.
Records, yeah. I love the fact that it's just zoomed into Set's face. It gives a new vibe to the album cover that I just love it.
Right.
It just looks great. I remember when I found it and I bought it and wasn't sure whether it was just a dodgy release, and then you were like, you need that, and then I remember you got yourself a copy as well. It's great. I love it. It's so
Got
good.
Troy to sign. Got Troy to sign mine as well, and these don't show up very much at all.
I don't think the band know too much about this alternate cover.
That's a good question for John next time, but definitely cool. I love the close up and the. So that's it for me, CD wise. You got any more CDs?
I have this. This is literally, again, Scarecrow Records. It's literally the deluxe version, but as a regular 2-disc digipack.
Okay.
So I won't take it out of the cellophane because it took me ages to get it in there. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a cool little addition to the collection. So yeah, I thought it was pretty. Never seen it before, so it's kind of an oddity.
Nice.
CDs. Demo side. The VIP exclusive from the Plagues tour. This one in particular, I gave away the one I got from the Plagues tour. Or, no, I sold it, sorry. This one in particular was sent to me by John Schaefer. So, John Schaefer, if you're watching, thank you so much for this. I do appreciate it. It's awfully kind of you to send me anything. So, thank you so much. Yeah.
Very cool picture disc. I got mine from John also.
Yeah, it has demo side, demo, and then the culling. Demo side, the demo version is a very different song. The lyrics are very different.
Heard it.
The lyrics are so different.
I haven't heard it in a while. But if you see this on eBay, it does show up occasionally. So, but it's kind of getting on the rare side. But there was actually a few that popped up on the Incorruptible US tour. They had a few at the merch booth, from what I hear.
Well, I did put one up on eBay that sold for about 20 quid, which is about 20.
Okay.
Which is about $30. Which I think is $30 is a fair price.
Especially for something that's not readily available.
Where we go next, sir? EP?
Do you want to go box set? Let's go box set first. Because yours is sealed and mine isn't.
Yeah. I got this so cheaply, I lost my mind. I only paid like £26, which is about $35. Which for me, from what I've heard from your end, Chuck, that's pretty cheap, right?
I just got mine last year, and I think I paid right around 42 US.
Okay.
But I mean, I had to shop around for it, so.
I mean, to get mine sealed, that's pretty cheap for nowadays, right?
Mine was sealed too. I couldn't open it fast enough. Is yours black or gold?
Mine's the gold version because I thought that's all it was, wasn't it? This only comes in.
I think there's a black version available also.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
But these are actually a touch smaller than the average vinyl. These are
10-inch.
10-inch.
Yeah.
And they're so pretty.
I think I like the 10-inch vinyl a bit more. They just seem to be nicer. They just look nicer.
Yeah. But they come in 3 nice album sleeves, and they've got this is something I love. It's got the CD book, but in vinyl form.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Why can't every vinyl do that? Like, that's awesome.
But yeah,
I'm really happy
they come
to
with
get
the poster.
Sealed.
Yeah. It also came with the poster, and mine's on the wall. So. And it does flatten up nicely. Those creases do go away after a while. So Plague's vinyl box set is definitely cool. You can get it out there. Just shop around, you'll get it cheap.
I recommend festivals because the majority of my the majority of my Iced Earth vinyl collection I picked up at festivals, and I paid sub $30 for them. So
Are Iced Earth always playing at those festivals?
no, it's just like they tend
Okay.
just to have just loads of their vinyl.
See, US doesn't have people selling vinyls at festivals.
At Bloodstock Festival, we have this massive marquee that has just loads of vinyl.
That must be a bloody Europe thing.
Welcome,
what do you want to show next, my friend?
Plague's EP. Plague's EP is good. I'll take this out of the sleeve quickly. Mine is still sealed.
What number is yours?
162.
Okay. Mine is 220. Yours is sealed, so I will show you how beautiful this blood red is.
See, mine is sealed, but I can get mine out. Look, right?
Okay.
You can see where they've literally still sealed on the around the corners and that, but they've tore it open. They've signed it. Mine is signed.
That was
yeah. I paid £20 for this at the tour, so I'm pretty fortunate to grab it when it was still readily available. I stood there while they signed it.
Okay, so yours is only signed by the 4, right?
Stu Block.
Should be everybody. Luke, John, and Troy. That's probably who it is. I got mine signed by Troy when I seen him a couple months ago. So this is a beautiful vinyl. It's got Plagues, If I Could See You Now, and Peacemaker on it. So
I do think I do have John Dett's signature on here, which just makes no sense to me. But
okay.
Oh well, whatevs.
That's still cool though. So is there 5 signatures total?
Well, there's like one here, one here, one here, one here, and then you got
one there. Yeah, so you got 5.
Yeah.
So cool. Now here's my.
It's sealed, but I still can get it out if I just like lift this lip over, but I'm not going to.
That's a beautiful vinyl. Here's the we showed you the 3-disc version. Here's the 2-disc version. I just picked this up actually on eBay. I got this in the Purple Dark Saga. Beautiful gatefold. Now, is yours sealed or is yours open?
Mine's open because this is my listening.
All the listening.
I listen to. Because I got my box set. Look how good that looks, man. It's so good.
I love the sleeves like this with the lyrics too.
Now, I'm gonna show off color because you know me. I have the silver version. Wow, snap. For the first time ever, snapperoons.
Hey, I got a few color ones now.
That's cool, man. I secretly want that purple Dark Saga. What? Sorry, what?
I know. I can't wait to show it to you. my Purple Dark Saga. But this is. I just got this week, so I only listened to one side of it so far. But I'll show you my listen copy here in a second. This is my listen copy. This is the Record Day exclusive. I have number 122 of 500.
I need it. I don't have it yet.
And what's kind of uncool about this set is the simplicity of it. Because when you open it up, it looks exactly like a promo. Because there's nothing on it at all. So I always play the guessing game when I play it of what side is going to show up because I don't know, and I'm not going to mark it. So, but this is the version I usually listen to. It's
Cool.
double version and nothing on the back, no track listing, just. But it's kind of cool. I had to have it. So they do show up from time to time, Jason. So you better get on it before they get too rare.
Yeah, I did find one for a reasonable price, but they said it was trying
And they didn't want to ship it.
No, they did, but they're trying to ask me for like 50 quid. So they were trying to ask me for like $60 shipping. I was like, get fucked, mate. Get fucked with that.
So that's a cool one to have. I'm very glad to have this one. So 500 of them. So I wished. Sorry, I hit my thing. I wished Ice Earth would do more record store days because this is cool. So that's quite a bit for one album, but definitely some cool vinyl and box sets for this one. Century Media did it up for this one. So we have some. So that's my Plagues collection. Like I said, I've got like 4 or 5 of the video bootlegs up there, but I'm not going to bring them down because they're all shat. So let's hear some viewer comments. We've got some definite different opinions, which I love. So let's hear what some people thought about Plagues.
All right, kicking off, Christopher Ellefson comments. This will be shocking, but might as well say it. This is the only album I have never listened to all the way through. I wasn't listening to very much Iced Earth in 2014. I hardly noticed when Plagues came out because I was very much in a black and doom metal phase at that point and rarely listened to any heavy metal. I got my interest back about a year after, but never got round to listening to this particular album, but now I will in preparation for this episode. Damn right you will, son.
That's so cool. I love it when our shows alter people's listens. So yeah, give it a listen and put on a comment, Christopher, what your thoughts are now. See if those extra spins helped it out. I hope you got all the way through it because there's some good stuff on there.
James Adams comments, it didn't really grab me the way Dystopia did, and I kind of wrote it off for a while, but I've since come to really like it. Killer album. Exact thoughts. That's exactly the way it went for me. Exactly.
Nice.
So yeah, cool, man. Thanks, James.
And that does happen because ever since our retrospective on Crucible, I like it more all the time. So
I don't.
If you have an album like that you're not into, give it another shot. So okay, thanks for your comment.
Philip Dunnels, love the first 6 songs. After that, it's a mixed bag for me anyway. Never liked Cthulhu all that much, and still don't. Love Peacemaker and Parasite, but that's about it for the second half for me. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I love hearing difference in opinions.
Yeah, it's cool. Like
we always say there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, that's what I love about this group is that everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone is welcome to voice their opinion. We're not saying like, how dare you? But as sometimes music cannot grab everybody.
Right.
So thanks for your comment, Philip. Richard Clark comments, this is one album which I hardly ever get the urge to listen to, but whenever I do, I realise just how good it is. The drumming is easily my favourite part of the album. I only have 2 gripes. Hansi Kirch, my favourite metal singer, appears on 5 songs, but is buried so deep in the mix that he is inaudible and may as well not be there. 2. It feels like it's a short 6-track album with 6 bonus tracks. John's intention was always to split it into 2, 6 story tracks and 6 miscellaneous tracks. But after the song The End, the album gets a totally different feel and it just doesn't sit well with me because they are so different to the first 6 tracks. they're not bad tracks. In fact, Confulia is my favourite from this album, but it still feels like it doesn't fit. I think this album proves that an album, not just an Iced Earth album, needs to stick to one theme. Either have all story tracks with a similar theme, or all miscellaneous tracks with different themes. This is something Incorruptible got right. Interesting. That's an interesting viewpoint.
Different take.
I do have a thing that I was gonna bring to the community. Now, me and one of my close friends, we've kind of had this debate where Iced Earth albums tend to be what we call top heavy, in the sense that we, more often than not, the first half is better than the second half. So yeah, comment down below to let me know, and Chuck know, your thoughts on, do you believe that a lot of the Iced Earth albums are quote unquote top heavy?
Well,
Yeah.
Can I just rebut that?
You can elaborate.
Just
You can jump
right
in,
off the bat.
Yeah.
I think of Horror Show. Towards the end, you got Dracula and Phantom Opera, Ghost. I think of Dark Saga. I think of Slave to the Dark and Question of Heaven. Something Wicked trilogy.
Yeah.
And Corruptible clear the way at the end with what's the song right before it? I love it.
Defiance.
Yeah. So I'm going to Dante's.
The thing is, though, with me, I used to think that. I don't anymore. Although that's just something that me and my friends used to have an opinion on. I still believe that Burnt Offerings is a top heavy album. I prefer the first half over the second half, even with Dante's. That's not to take away anything from the songs, after Brainwashed and.
I don't think that Burnt Offerings gets enough credit for the non-Dante songs.
Yeah, I agree with you. Anyway, we're not talking about Dante's, but
but anyway, thanks I love hearing different opinions.
Yeah.
I guess I've never thought of that.
Thanks for your input, Richard. Thank you, sir. Right. Where am I? Okay, that's it. Yeah. John Baylor comments. I love the CD. First day it came out. I love their cover of Jimmy Webb's hit song. The whole CD is epic. Sons of Liberty re-recording was perfect. Cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. Good. Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yeah. I'm gonna butcher this guy's surname, but Chris Hook. I think it's Hook. I could be wrong. I do apologise, Chris. He says, take off the Sons of Liberty cover and Highwaymen. Great songs, they just didn't fit the theme for the album.
On a side note, I think that's kind of what made them special.
They're just, I see them as just like bonus extras,
I just think that's part of the mix that makes it cool.
They're not meant to fit with the album. They're there as little like extras.
Standalones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Standalone.
Yeah, but like Richard said, going back to Richard's fault, the second half of the album is mostly kind of self-contained songs anyway. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's cool to if you feel that way, Chris, that's fine with us, man. But yeah, I still think they're great songs on their own. You can't please everyone, I suppose. Our Instagram man, Adam Ortiz.
I've heard that name before.
Have you? He's a real dick. Adam Ortiz comments, I remember buying this album. Sorry, Adam. We love you.
I love you, Adam. Go ahead.
Adam Ortiz comments, I remember buying this album the day it came out. Love the album art. The artwork is the reason I'm not allowed to wear metal shirts at work anymore because it was quote unquote too scary. Well, Adam, your workplace sucks.
Yeah.
I can wear a death metal t-shirt that says skinned and fucked on my back and no one bats an eyelid at my work.
Adam, next time you go to work, get you a special Melancholy EP shirt made. You should be okay with that one, buddy. What do you think, Jason? I think you can get away with that one.
Or just wear like a Live in Athens shirt. You know, what's wrong with Set holding the Greek flag, you know?
So, sorry, Adam. Thanks for your input.
I don't understand that because I know the kind of workplace that Adam works in. I don't understand. He doesn't deal with like public, so why does it matter about his t-shirt
all it takes
being
is the
too
HR
scary?
person in there.
It's fucking that's bullshit. Like I said, I can wear a death metal t-shirt that literally says skinned and fucked on the back and no one bats an eyelid. No one cares at my place. It's great.
Okay. Moving along
swiftly before I embarrass myself. Oh my god, why has this guy got such a long name? I'm gonna put
just go with his first name.
I can't. The beauty of having a global, open Facebook group is you get people from all over the place. Jorge, is it Jorge? Jorge? How do you pronounce that, Chuck? I'll let you butcher it. George. Okay,
or Jorge.
I'm okay. George Rodriguez comments. I do apologise if I butchered your name. I used to hate the first 6 songs, but all of them have grown on me with time, especially the end. Cool, man.
Nice.
Pretty much the same as me, really. Thanks for your comment, George, or however you pronounce your name. Sorry, sir. Tyler Duncan comments, my only gripe with Plagues of Babylon nowadays, when I listen to it, is that, to me, Stu tried too hard to emulate Matt Barlow's style. He did it a lot on Dystopia too, but definitely overkilled it here. Incorruptible is my favourite with Stu singing, out of 3 albums with him so far. He sounded more like himself, like he did in Into Eternity.
Interesting.
I generally don't think
personally
it
don't
like
hear that.
I don't think anyone sounds like Matt Barlow. You know, it's Matt fucking Barlow.
Well, that guy from that new group, We Are the Sentinels, sounds kind of like him.
Yeah, who is that guy? Oh, speaking of We Are Sentinels, they actually are called We Are Sentinels because they had to change their name because apparently Sentinels
I realized that.
Taken. Yeah, because I asked Jonah the other day, is it Sentinels or is it We Are Sentinels? Because I'm a bit confused. He says, "Oh, we are now called We Are Sentinels because another band has the rights to Sentinels." I was like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, quick as we're talking, as you brought it up, pre-orders are coming soon, guys, and this album's
can't wait.
This album's gonna kick so much ass. Jonah's let me know that they're gonna have quite some special pre-order bundles and merch packages coming up. So look forward to it, man. I can't wait for this record. I really can't.
And I think there's going to be an autographed package as well. So that's the one I want.
I just want to announce something quickly. I'm going to pre-order 2 copies of the merch bundles, and
one for me. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, my friend. Go ahead, Jason.
How rude.
For our lovely patrons.
Yes, I'm gonna be giving one away to our awesome Patreons. And quick plug, if you want to be a part of our monthly giveaway on Patreon, you can donate as little as $1 a month to help, us kind of like, stay alive on the podcast, keep my PC maintenance so we can record and stuff like that. So yeah, if you can, as little as $1 a month, guys, to be a part of the giveaway every month. And we've already done a couple so far, and winners are very happy with their kind of prizes. So
We got
yeah,
some more cool stuff coming up. So
obviously I
you're
can't with this We Are Sentinels giveaway. I can't guarantee when it will be because I need to obviously
yeah,
pre-order it and then receive it.
get
So
it.
we'll see. But yeah, as soon as I get
Coming
them,
soon.
then yeah, coming soon. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd chuck
Okay.
that out there. Oh, I ran out
Okay,
of breath.
so the
Right.
last comment was the one about Matt Barlow.
Yes. But yeah, if that's how you feel, Tyler, then that's fair enough, man. But
I personally don't hear it.
neither do I. Although like, what I did say in Dystopia that I feel on this album in particular, Stu has kind of found a particular voice that he didn't use on Dystopia. It's more kind of like harsher on this record. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not
Less
as
falsettos too.
hmm?
Less falsettos on this one than Dystopia. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's more kind of like an undercurrent. He uses it more of
Yeah.
as like aesthetically kind of thing. But yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool if you feel that way, man.
Thanks for
I
the comment.
Thanks a lot. Right, Douglas Rasanda comments: "Plagues of Babylon to me is a distinctly darker feel and even a progressive feel." I've read that wrong. My bad. Oh well. Okay, he's not typed it properly. Plagues of Babylon to me has a distinctly darker feel and an even more progressive feel.
Okay.
Lots of different stuff. It's cool to see everyone getting writing credits too. I am absolutely in love with the bass lines on this record and realise how solely they needed a melodic bass player. Drums are awesome. Love the grooves and fills. It was really weird. It was really weird and still is hearing an Iced Earth record that doesn't sound like Jim Morris. Doesn't sound like Jim Morris did it. I would say I think a lot of the vocal melodies sound forced, and the stresses of certain words are wrong and don't sound as good as they could.
Hmm.
I agree with him about the whole Jim Morris didn't do this record because I feel the CD version of this album does not sound good whatsoever in terms of production. There's too much bottom end on the CD release. That is fixed with the vinyl, like we've mentioned. The vinyl sounds spectacular. But there's definitely a shift in sound compared to the
Yep.
previous records, and you can tell it's been recorded, mixed and mastered by someone different for sure. I kind of understand what it means by some melodies sound kind of forced a little bit in some points, because I think that's the kind of vocal I think Stu was going for, that more kind of a harsher kind of vocal, but that's
Right.
just me. I don't know whether people hear that at all. I don't think he sounds very natural on this album. I think he sounded more natural on Dystopia. But yeah, like thanks for the comment.
I think.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with the Jim Morris comment. I think that's a valid comment there. Final comment of the day for viewers is JP Kiprani comments: "I think that Plagues of Babylon is absolutely terrific album. Isn't let me try that again, please. I think that Plagues of Babylon is an absolutely terrific album from the band. As Chuck knows, this album is my number 3 on my list after Dark Saga and Horror Show. Definitely darker than Dystopia. I would somewhat compare it to the feel of Burnt Offerings, especially with that artwork. I also believe that the end and the culling are highly underrated, and of course Stu is on point as always." He kind
Thank
of
you, JP.
he kind of matches my sentiment when I said that if the band
Burn offerings.
if the band carried on with that darker sound, that this could have followed Burnt Offerings.
Fair enough.
Thank you, JP. Thank you, everybody that commented. We do like reading your stories and your thoughts.
Yeah, I was just going to also say thanks for all those who commented, and it's okay to, if I like this, it's okay to say I don't, I love just hearing the different opinions. And that's one thing that we wanted when we started this community was just to hear different people's thoughts. And,
Yeah,
I
I
love
can,
that.
I can go to Chuck. Divide Devour is shit. I can say that, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's cool.
And
I like that
also,
song."
that's cool.
Uh,
I personally think that Plagues is better than Dystopia. That's me.
I will
So,
disagree, but
anyway.
I'm not gonna stab you over it. Just you know what I mean? Like, I did you hear this story? Um, it happened in America. Uh, Apparently, two roommates, they were arguing, right? Because obviously we're giving different opinion and we're respecting each other's opinion, correct? Right? And
Right.
everybody in our group is kind of getting on and respecting each other's opinions, and there's a very varied. These two roommates, right? They they disagreed on like, oh, Apple is better, oh, Android is better, and they stabbed each other over it.
Hmm.
Morons. Is that pathetic or what? How
That's,
can, how can two people get so riled up about their favourite brand or song or whatever it could be? It could be about anything. It could have been about, oh, Iron Maiden is better than Metallica, whatever, right?
and then stab somebody.
Yeah, like, I can't even imagine getting that annoyed by somebody's opposite opinion to stab them. Like, it's fucking ludicrous. It's ludicrous. That's why we are very fortunate to have an awesome community that
We do.
respects each other, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah, I
everybody
love different
for
opinions.
like being a part of what we do and stuff. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you ready for me to bring it home?
I feel like we're missing something.
No, I think we're good. Um, Thank you to Brent Deadly Smedley for an awesome interview. That was great. That was so much fun.
Fucking he's a
He's such
god.
a dude.
He's a god, man. Like
He's a dude.
behind that kit, he's a man among men.
We do apologize for we kind of elaborated why we've been absent a little bit, but we're going to get back on there. We've got some guests coming. I'm working on a really cool guest that a lot of people have requested, so fingers crossed that goes well. We've got a guest lined up. We're going to Incorruptible's coming up, but don't fret. We've got tons of stuff after that. So thank you very much. I'm so excited to announce that we did hit 300 subscribers. I think we're at like 304 now. So if you watch it and you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe for us. Thank you. If you have the means to help us out with Patreon, thank you. There's some cool giveaways coming up, including We Are Sentinels, and we're going to hopefully be doing a special with that very soon with Matt and Jonah. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, and keep the comments coming. Jason, thanks for a great show. I'm Chuck Hoskins, and you've been watching Podcast and Stone, The Plagues of Babylon special. More coming soon. Metal lives.
Metal lives. See you later, guys.